Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy. We're jumping in right where we left off here in Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to the Three Broomsticks. We're going behind the Three Broomsticks, actually.
I'll fix him, that charm grinder.
Sir, is everything all right?
How kind of you to ask. The name's Ackley Barnes. And no, it is not. I'm plotting a sort of revenge against my ex-business partner, a conniving fiend by the name of Alfred Lawley. He cut me out of our herbology supply business just as we were getting started. Said I was too volatile to work with. I'll show him volatile.
That must have been frustrating for you.
Yes, it was. Terribly. I'm simply passionate about my work. Supercilious fool. He's passionate about things too, as I intend to remind him by relieving him of his prized possession. A venomous tentacula he's grown from a seedling that was to be the keystone of our business venture. I can't get anywhere near it with Ruth Singer watching me like an augury. Lawley's doing, no doubt. But no one would suspect a student. How would you feel about committing some grand plant larceny?
What else is in Mr. Lawley's cellar?
All of Lawley's herbology supplies. He has quite the collection. Fill your pockets while you're there. Or to slow him down for a bit. And I can get my business going minus any competition.
Why do you need Mr. Lawley's venomous tentacula in particular?
Simple. If I have it, then Lawley doesn't. Ergo, I can launch my business, and he must start all over again. I'm killing two snidgets with one stone.
You said Mr. Lawley was your ex-business partner. What were you working on?
I had an idea to train venomous tentacula, create guard plants, if you will, that attacked when ordered. We hit a snag when one ate Lawley's Kneasel. After that, he cut me out of the business, the short-sighted fiend.
I'm not sure this is something a student should be doing on your behalf.
Oh, it's nothing. And he deserves it. Trust me. He'll be in and out of there in no time.
Very well. I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. I shall be right here. All I ask is that you bring me the venomous tentacula. Remember, I just need that venomous tentacula.
Mr. Barnes will only get in trouble going down this path. I need to find another way to get him a venomous tentacula.
Well, why don't I just give him one right now? We'll be back. We're gonna mix this one up into this quest that I have here in the Three Broomsticks so that it doesn't seem suspicious of me leaving and then coming right back.
Hello, Sarona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lockgog?
I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ranrock.
Are you? I suspected you and he would get along. Perhaps best I don't know details of your plans. Then I shall refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something.
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favor for my friend Dorothy Sproffle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dawson Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, and the full of old letters and such.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. Ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying traveling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aiden was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Okay, now we can just go back to this guy.
Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacula.
Wish I could see Lawley's face when he realizes his prized possession is gone. We'll see who's volatile now. Well done. I'll take it off your hands now.
Of course. Glad to hand it over, frankly.
I shall make an ocean of galleons, and Lawley's business will be sunk. Here's a little something for your next trip to Zonko's. Oh, to see the look on Lawley's face the next time he wanders down to his cellar.
It's probably him right there. Okay, well, we didn't steal from the guy, obviously, and completed the quest actually a lot quicker. I'm sure that we could have gotten a lot more from stealing from him, but... There we go.
Sendo!
Oh.
It's been ages since I've found anything worth poaching near Cragcroft.
Uh-oh.
The Ministry ought to loosen the reins on the dark arts. No better protection, if you ask me. I shall get that goblin helm back. Hopefully from your corpse. Come here, Crite.
Potato! Stupid guy! Arrest momentum! Finger! Sender! Confringo! Glacius! Ready up! Levioso!
What do we have?
Arrest the momentum. Finger! Sendo! Confringo!
No, we figured it out. Okay. Is there more? Is there more yet?
Revelio.
Confringo!
Merlin himself would be proud.
What do you... I mean, we just blew up some stones.
Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Excuse me, did you say something about a Bardolph Beaumont?
I did. I don't think we've met. I'm Dorothy Sprottle. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders?
Oh, he had a terrible run-in with Ranrock's loyalists. Changed him. He vowed never to feel powerless again. I think he sought the Ashwinders out to learn their secrets. Victor Rookwood, at least, seems somehow immune to Ranrock's loyalists.
Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off?
No. Bardolph's run that shop with Claire his entire life. He'd not give it up for anything. He swore he'd be back in a fortnight. My instincts are that he's been held captive, or worse.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sarona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sarona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect hawk lumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sarona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sarona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk clumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk clumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sarona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sarona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Spruttle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
Revelio.
Ranrock's loyalists are a menace. What can be done?
I couldn't help it over here. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. Never imagined they'd act this deadly. I'm Claire Beaumont, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. My brother Bardolph dared to stand up to them and ended up in St. Mungo's. I'm simply at my wit's end.
Why don't you simply leave the area for now?
Upper Hogsfield is my home. Baldolph and I grew up here. No, we are standing firm. Once my brother returns, then we shall decide what to do next. He's gone to seek Victor Rookwood's advice. I didn't approve of that idea, but perhaps in the end it will help.
You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where precisely?
To the south, across the river. Last I heard, there were several loyalists in each camp. I won't go near them.
How did your brother Bardolph end up in St. Mungo's?
Baldolph had spent the entire day hand-picking herbs and roots for us. When a group of Ranrock's lot appeared and demanded the harvest for themselves, Bardolph refused. In their anger, they hurled him against a rock and robbed him. The moment he left St. Mungo's, he vowed revenge. I worry he may be dabbling in magic that he will one day regret.
I am unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious. We should not have to live in fear. This is our home.
Kind of a two birds with one stone thing. But we can collect Sarona's letters. Suggested level 2. Wow. That's not what we want? What? That it? Okay. I don't think we completed the quest, but apparently it says we did. Okay, I guess that's the one we'll do.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time. This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Now, where did I set my traps? Was it Lower Hogsfield or Upper Hogsfield?
Oh, well, I do not like that sight.
But I still need to visit the cave to find Sarona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find... Better have a look around, see if I can find that box of letters.
Confringo!
Ah, that's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio.
I don't want to go through there just yet, just in case this has something else in it. Yuck. Get out the way.
Revelio.
Should have sold all my stuff. I think after this episode, I'll probably just sell everything. Why is that there? Let's go back up.
Revelio.
Oh, wait a minute. See that? Didn't even see that. Oh, man. Oh, no. Tea, please.
Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Confringo. Revelio.
Okay, for now we're good. He died. Okay, let's continue to explore the cave. Nope, don't want to go that way. We want to go this way this time. Oh, that's
Either
great.
I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Nope, he's already seen us.
Take her. Stupefy. Arrest her, momentum. Finger. Sender.
Ooh, you got me.
Arrest her, momentum. Finger. Sender. Glacial. Valiant. Defender. Revelio. Finger. Defender. Valiant. Taker. Stupefy. Leviosa. Accio. Poser. Leviosa. Incendio. Lumos. Finger. Sender. Taker. Stupefy. Confringo. Stupefy.
That was a close one.
Revelio.
Was that Ditney? Yeah, it is.
Revelio.
Lumos.
Dear Sarona, when I arrived here, I had a troubling sense that in many ways I wasn't like the other first years. I confess I worried that Hogwarts might not have been the proper place for me, and pondered sending an owl to my parents, asking them to fetch me almost before the first week of class had ended. How did you know? Presume you're not secretly a legilimens, but I wonder that you seemed to know my thoughts better than I did. That day in the Three Broomsticks, when you spotted me, huddled in a corner, staring blankly at an untouched butterbeer and an empty bit of parchment, my quill dripping ink, woefully onto the floor, and you came to sit with me, well, I shall never forget it. I recall a sudden sense of relief, as if someone had cast a levitation charm on me. When you told me about how nervous you'd been, to come to Hogwarts. I looked at you, and it seemed beyond my imagination to think of you as anything but the confident, content witch sitting before me. In the days that followed, I marveled at how you charmed, in the non-magical sense, I mean, everyone around you without apology, embracing who you were and who they were. It was as though a candle had flickered on for me. I realized that I could choose that path as well. Now that my school years are ending, the frightened first year witch I had been seems worlds away. And I know it's because you saw yourself in that despairing creature in the corner of the pub, and so generously extended yourself to her. Yours sincerely, Mirabelle. P.S. Please tell Mrs. Sprottle that I still plan on visiting her and Mr. Sprottle whenever I can for their delightful conversation, and I am unashamed to admit her incomparable cauldron cakes. My dear Sarona, I've sent a note separately to dear Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle for their hospitality, but felt the need to put quill to parchment with my thanks to you as well. What a lovely respite from the castle. I won't soon forget how we giggled about that ridiculous gnome. Did he truly believe that he was singing? And Mrs. Sprottle's steak and kidney pie was simply glorious. I shall be dreaming of it for days. I so appreciate you including me. I fear I must warn you, however, that this does not mean I will go easy on you in the next week's match. You know that Ravenclaw is no match at all for Slytherin this year. Most gratefully yours, Philomena.
This must be Sarona's box of letters.
Dear Sarona, I conjured this wee gift for you as a token of my gratitude. If you hadn't stood your ground on my behalf during Quidditch practice last week, I might have left the team altogether. And now we've won the Quidditch Cup. Ravenclaw House would not be the same without you. Yours sincerely, Sean. Dear Sarona, happy birthday, my darling friend. I sneaked into the kitchens and asked Finky to make your favorite, cream crowdie. She was delighted to oblige. Not sure where she got raspberries at this time of year. Genius, that Finky. Bess.
I should take this box of letters to Sarona. She'll be glad to have it back.
Dear Mrs. Sprottle, Mother and Father were delighted to hear that you and I had spent the afternoon at Glad Rags last Saturday. Truth be told, I think my mother was ever so slightly envious. I shan't soon forget how heartily we laughed at my efforts to lace the bodice of my new dress. A challenge indeed, as is the rather delicate practice of properly situating a hat pin without wounding either my hat or my head. But I adore everything that we selected, and I have you to thank for now, feeling like a marvelously fashionable witch. It was also a treat to dine at the Three Broomsticks without having to clear the tables. I shall own a place like that one day, Mark my words. I consider myself more than lucky that you and Mr. Sproutle agreed to let me stay. I know that my parents feel precisely the same way. Yours gratefully, Sarona.
I think that's everything. Sarona will be glad to have this back.
That was it? Holy cow. We took him down quick. Okay, let's see here. Map. We're gonna head over to Sarona. In the Three Broomsticks. Then, I think we're going to go to the Room of Requirement. Actually, we'll probably sell a bunch of stuff. Or maybe I'll do that after the Room of Requirement. Or maybe
He's
I won't
been
do that.
burgled. I should pretend I never heard the rumors of your involvement.
Okay. You do that. I want to see quests. Because I think Deke wants to teach you how to use the knapsack to rescue magical beasts. Okay, well, we won't really... We're not going to do that right now. I'll finish up here with Sarona, and then we'll think of what we're going to do next.
Hello, Sarona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Spottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
What's with the circle, question mark? May I ask you about the letters in your box?
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
Oh, it just meant like we're gonna give you multiple options.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Spottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand, and not everyone was as kind to me as the Sproffles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter, but she and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Ah, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw. We could have cheered them on together.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Well, cool. It's about all we have time for, really. So we're going to head back to the common room. I'm going to save and quit. Let's see here. Oh, would it be this one? That's the one. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging around with me. Do appreciate it. And that being said, please do like, comment, subscribe, do all the things YouTube wants you to do. And bye for now.